The My Ford University Podcast, episode 29. We're going to talk about how to get ahead of 99% of college graduates, MBAs, and PhDs. Welcome back to My Ford University, colleagues. I'm George Sloan, founder and dean of My Ford University, where we think harder, learn faster, and do what works. Today's episode is going to shake some assumptions, and I'll let that one pass this time. You know I don't like the word assumption. We're going to talk about how to get ahead of 99% of college graduates, 99% of MBAs, and yes, even 99% of PhDs. Sound bold? It is. But the reason it's possible is because most of these folks are playing the wrong game. They're following the old rules in a new world. And if you're listening to this podcast, I'm guessing you're not trying to be average. So today, I'll walk you through what most traditional grads do wrong and what top 1% people do differently, and exactly how you can leapfrog them without spending another dime on a degree. So let's go. You know, the traditional path, we've talked about it before, is broken, and we're going to talk a little bit about why. Let's start with what college graduates are taught. They're told, get a degree, follow the rules, keep your head down, and you'll be rewarded. What actually happens? They leave school with a fancy piece of paper, a mountain of debt, and no monetizable skill set. No real network, no portfolio, just hope. And we all know hope isn't a strategy. Now let's talk about MBAs. MBAs are trained to think like consultants. PowerPoint decks, frameworks, buzzwords. They're taught to analyze, but not always to build. To manage, but to rarely sell or execute. And I would even say lead. I prefer leadership over management, and it's something that we should all aspire to. They spend $100,000 plus to become strategic thinkers, but most never take a real risk. They never launch a product, or they never lead with skin in the game. And PhDs, well, yes, they go deep, real deep. Years in the academic trenches. They publish papers that 37 people will read. Think about that. Might even be less. The problem? Most PhDs become specialists in things the market doesn't care about. Unless they know how to translate their research into business value, they're stuck. People in business pay for problems to be solved. If you can solve a problem, you're going to get paid. PhDs get too bogged down in one thing. Hopefully that one thing is something that is monetizable or can be productized, but in most cases not. So what do all three of these folks have in common? College grads, PhDs, and MBAs. They confuse credentials with competence. And the marketplace doesn't reward credentials, it rewards results, outcomes, transformations, right? All right, so here's the new playbook. Here's what the 1% do differently. Now, let's talk about how to play a different game. Here's what the top 1% of people actually do when it comes to winning, and they do it differently. Number one, they build a high-value skill, not just communication or leadership. I'm talking about paid traffic. I'm talking about copywriting. I'm talking about coding. I'm talking about sales. I'm talking about funnel design. I'm talking about data analysis or any other skill that is in high demand that solves a problem. And the bigger the problem, or the more difficult the problem that it solves, the bigger the rewards for these folks. You want something measurable, something that can be monetized, something the market needs and is in short supply in the market. Number two, these folks think like owners. You don't need to own a business to think like an owner. Owners think in systems and leverage and in outcomes. Employees clock in and they clock out. Owners solve problems and scale solutions. Always want to think not just of the problem at hand. You want to look at the big picture. And can you roll this out? Can you do this as a beta test and roll it out across the organization, even if you're an employee? All right. Number three, they learn just in time, not just in case. They don't binge textbooks. They learn exactly what they need for the challenge in front of them, and then they apply it immediately. That's the foundation of everything we're doing here. Learn what you need to know as quickly as you can and apply it immediately and get those results. So that application, that's where transformation happens. Number 4, they build a track record, not a transcript. Nobody cares about your GPA in the real world. They don't give a shit. What they care about is what you've done and what you're capable of doing. What problems can you solve? What results have you produced and can you produce for them? That's all they care about. The top 1% document their results, they share their wins, and they become known for their outcomes. Again, I've done a whole thing on building work product samples. You want to build a portfolio. Don't just say you can do it, show you can do it. Knowledge workers, show and tell. Talked about it before. Number 5, they own something. Many times these folks, they own a business, they own a blog, they own a course, they own an audience, some kind of intellectual property, some software, something that works while they sleep. You want freedom, you need ownership. Next, specific plays to beat the traditional path. So, what are some of the things that you can do? What are the alternatives that you can do that's going to change things for you and get you ahead of all these folks? Okay? Number 1, you also didn't spend years in school and hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. That gets you ahead of them almost from the get-go. But to outperform most college grads, here are some ideas. Skip the resume war. Pick one high leverage skill, learn it fast, build a portfolio, get client results, and charge more. You'll be earning more before most of them even get their first job offer. Get out there and start doing. Learn by doing. Get better fast. Okay? You want to beat most most MBAs? Study the business on your own. Read books, watch case studies, take your own small bets. Start a micro business. Even, a side hustle is not a bad thing. It's a great educational tool, and you make money with it. Even if it earns only $500 a month, you're going to learn more about pricing, positioning, marketing, and operations than most MBAs will learn in 2 years. Starting a small business is an MBA in and of itself. Highly recommend you think about it. To beat most PhDs, choose a domain where the depth matters, like AI, psychology, systems thinking, or health. Then go deep. But apply what you learn to something real. Build a product, build a service, build a solution, start a newsletter. Make your insights useful and monetizable. Okay? You'll become a bridge between theory and value, and that's rare. And that's also where the money is. That's where you get rewarded, and rewarded handsomely in some cases. All right. Let's talk about, some examples. A couple quick stories. There are many stories of 19-year-olds dropping out of college, learning some kind of software skill, say it's SEO, search engine optimization, building a digital agency, and making 6 figures before his or her friends even graduate. Wouldn't it be great to build a little business where you're learning the business and you get paid for it instead of paying to learn about something that you haven't even done yet? Or how about a guy with no MBA who studies business books, follows different influencers' advice, and builds an offer and is doing $20,000 a month in under a year? It's been done. How about a former PhD student who turns his academic research into a paid course? Then he launches with a tiny email list and makes more in 1 month than he earned his entire year of postdoctoral work. None of them waited for permission. They didn't chase prestige. They chased outcomes. All right. So you probably need a playbook, and I'm going to give you a simple 5-step roadmap. Again, we try to make the complex simple here. So here are the 5 things that you want to do. This is your roadmap. Pick a valuable skill or problem that you can solve. Okay? Study what matters and then apply it immediately. Document your results and build a portfolio of proof. Number 4, start creating leverage through content, code, capital, or community. And 5, repeat. The old rinse and repeat, and improve as you go and keep building. No student loans required. and you're getting paid. The expression, you're earning while you're learning, as opposed to paying while you learn and then earning later, maybe. Right? Okay, let's talk about some closing thoughts here. Number one, if you've learned anything, if you've been around here long enough, you don't need another degree to win. You don't need validation from some institution to say, oh, I've got this piece of paper. It doesn't qualify you for shit. You can have all the theory in the world, but if you don't know how to use it or apply it, it's meaningless, right? You also need initiative, execution, and a deep commitment to solving real problems for real people. I keep saying it. People pay for solutions, results, outcomes, transformations. They do not pay because you went to some fancy program and have a degree that says something, right? If you do that kind of thing, believe me, you're going to get ahead of 99% of college graduates. You're going to run laps around most MBAs, and you'll out-earn many and most PhDs. Listen, you'll have something that they were never taught in school. And here's the key to the whole thing: real world leverage. There's nothing that replaces experience in the real world, in the wild, doing it. So that's it for today. If you got value out of this episode, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs it to stop chasing credentials and start chasing competencies that provide real world results for people. So until next time, think harder, learn faster, and do what works. This is My Ford University. I'm George Sloan, and here you learn it fast and you apply it faster. We will see you the next time. Thank you.